Welcome back to another episode of Procrastination Garage. My name's Matt. Okay, so this episode is going to pick up where we left off at the last episode, which was me arriving in Moline, Illinois for the International Snowmobile Congress. So the first nearly minute is just going to be some pictures I took while I was back there. You can fast forward past those if you don't want to look at them. The next 10 minutes or so is basically my trip coming back to Central Washington. And then the last 10 minutes of the video are me working on the tractor, working on my tank sprayer, and just doing some miscellaneous stuff. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sit back, relax. When it's over, please hit the like button. Or if you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. But if you hit the dislike, please leave a comment and tell me why you didn't like it. So that's it. We'll see you at the end. The International Snowmobile Congress ended last night, and I'm back on the road on Sunday morning, and I'm just crossing the bridge now into Iowa. It was a good time, that's for sure. Be coming again next year. Next year it's going to be in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's raining this morning. It'll be interesting to see how long the rain lasts on the drive out. You know, we had very little rain, only a couple of rain showers. Some friends of mine that came in a couple days before me, they had several hours and hours and hours of rain on their trip. It's Monday morning. Had a good night's stay in Grand Island, Nebraska last night. On the road, 80 westbound. I'm hoping to make it to Rock Springs, Wyoming tonight. So, not sure what we're going to do today. I'm going to do some Hot Wheel hunting, which you guys won't see. But if you go to my TikToks, you'll see all the Hot Wheel stuff I do on there. So anyway, who knows what's to come. Somewhere out in the middle of Nebraska, the Heartland Museum of Military Vehicles. They've got a nice display inside, which I didn't have time to check out. I just looked at the stuff on the outside. Took some pictures. Pretty neat. A couple old veterans in there running the place. Stopped off in North Platte to look for some Hot Wheels and stuff, and it was a mistake. Not only did I not find anything of significance, but the road construction is awful, one-way streets, kind of a waste of time. But I did gas up, so that's good. So here's a Procrastination Garage item. My check engine light is on. On the trip out, the check engine light came on. It doesn't like running at 75, 80, 85 miles an hour for extended periods of time. And it had gone back off, and now it's back again. And the problem is, when that check engine light is on, I don't have cruise control. And I don't care about the check engine light, but I miss having the cruise control. So the question is, will the light go out before I get home or not? I guess we'll find out. Made it to Wyoming at 80 mile an hour speed limits. Check engine light still on. Let's hammer down. Now we found a thunderstorm in Livingston, Wyoming. Coming down pretty hard at times. Still got snow in Wyoming. Should have brought my snowmobile, I guess. As suspected, the check engine light has gone out, and I think it's due to putting some 91 octane fuel in it. Good news is my cruise control is going to work again. So this is not a project we'll have to work on for Procrastination Garage. It's Tuesday morning, and I'm going to be home tonight. Just left Evanston, Wyoming. Here's something you don't see every day. I'm running 80 miles an hour, and that truck just passed me. So there you go. Anyway, gonna do a little more Hot Wheel hunting. Got 11 hours of driving time ahead of me. Woohoo! Utah still got snow too. So yes, that does mean I'm in Utah now. Heading north towards Ogden. We've made it to Idaho. We're getting closer to home. Well, I say closer to home. We've still got like 8 hours to go. It's been a pretty uneventful day. Made it to Oregon. We've got about 4 hours to go. Hammer down. We just left Pendleton, Oregon. We're about 2 hours from home, and the wind is blowing like you wouldn't believe. This little car is being blown all over the place. Oh well. Well, there has been a bunch of dust blowing. That is smoke. In fact, I just got a whiff of it. There's a fire over there somewhere, and the wind is just whipping it along. That's not good because we're just entering fire season. Getting closer to that fire. It's almost probably close to the road down here. There's the fire. It's on the hillside straight ahead. At least it's not blocking the road at all. It's Monday morning, about 10:30 a.m. Sprinkler's been running for a couple hours over on this side. Yard looking pretty ragged after our 10 days away from the place. So it's time to get some mowing done. This spot won't probably get mowed till tomorrow, but we'll get the rest of the yard mowed today. The front yard's looking pretty ragged, partly because it needs to be mowed, and then partly because it hadn't had any water for 10 days. Won't get any water on this till tomorrow. The focus right now is getting this side mowed because I want to get the water turned on this afternoon for the cherries, because they've gone without water for 10 days, and that's not a good thing. It's Thursday afternoon, and you're looking through the dirty windshield of the F-250, the green truck. Back to mundane tasks. Yesterday we spent the day mowing our yard, doing some watering. Today we're headed over to the rental to mow over there, bringing the bagger because I think the grass is going to be pretty deep, and then also doing some more watering at our place. So let's get her done. Yeah, today I'm going to use the bagger to clean this up. All mowed and got a couple sprinklers running. And I did use the bagger, although I filled the bagger and still had to spread grass clippings with the blades. It's Friday morning, about 9:30. The plan was to get up early this morning and spray the cherries. I didn't show it in the last video. You saw me getting the sprayer ready to spray, and I did in fact spray before I took my trip to Moline. It's 2 weeks now and it's time to spray again. So anyway, I filled the tank sprayer back up, put the chemical in there, and wanted to make sure everything was ready to go, so I turned it on. And well, also using this mower, I have a power switch on this mower that was right here that puts power to this lead right back here, and when I plugged it in and flipped the switch, nothing happened. And so it turned out the switch was bad, so I ended up putting this little switch in here, which obviously doesn't fit through the hole, but it's what I had on hand, and so that got my power back. I suspect this switch here went bad because it was sitting out in the weather for so long. The same reason that that switch there isn't letting me mow backwards right now. Anyway, getting back to the problem at hand, once I got everything all set up and tried to get the pump to pressurize and everything, I couldn't get it to come above 20 psi, and it needs to get up to, like, I don't know, 60, 50, 60, and just couldn't get it there. So after dinking around with several things, the last thing being the pickup down in the tank, thinking maybe it was clogged, I tried blowing through it. I actually removed it. Still could not get the thing to pressurize. So what we need to do is we need to replace this pump. But we're not working on that yet, although we're going to go buy a pump this morning, I hope. But first, something else. While running the sprinklers in the front yard yesterday, I'm still having trouble with this one spray nozzle here. It keeps clogging up on me, and I think I'm just not getting it completely cleaned out. And then today I've just come to the realization that, you know what, that thing just needs to be raised up. And I had another one over here somewhere, yeah, right there, and it too sunk down pretty low, and it was clogged. So I pulled it out, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these. I'm not sure how well that's focusing, and hopefully I can raise it up about that much, and that'll be enough to improve the performance of it. So basically we've got to dig this one and that one up to replace them. I've got my buddy Bear out here helping. I'm not sure how much of a help he is, but he's a good companion. I tried to be more surgical, just using a trowel instead of my big shovel to make a smaller divot, I guess. So anyway, I've kind of got it dug up. Now I'll see if I can unscrew it and get a little spacer down in there. The little spacers are installed. I end up using both of them. I thought I would just get by with one, but even using two, I'm still down below the grass level, which is, I think it's just about where I need to be. So I'm going to go ahead and put this grass piece back in here, and then we'll move on to the next one. I did need to use a pair of pliers to unscrew the sprinkler, because that dirt just holds it in there tight, but it came out with the pliers. One down, one to go. In looking at the second one, I'm trying to figure if I'm going to use one or two. This is two screwed together, and honestly it looks like that's going to extend it a little too high. So I'd rather be a little low than too high, because then it's a problem with the mower hitting it, and it can get broken and stuff. So we're just going to use one spacer on this one. I've already made a tactical error on this one. I forgot to put the little sprinkler nozzle back on before I started digging it up, so now I've got a bunch of dirt down in the hole there. Oh well, it means it'll just take a little longer to get cleaned out. I've been having troubles getting these little sprinkler nozzles completely clean. This one is the one that's been giving me the most problem. You know, I blow through this end, and I can see there's just a little bit of stuff hanging up in the bottom of it, and I just can't get it out no matter which way I blow. So I had a couple of these laying around, so I went ahead and I cut the end off of one, and now I can put it up against this, and it has a tight seal, and it'll put, you know, 100 pounds of air through it. And it seems like it's cleaned out now, so we're going to go put this one back. This is the one that's just, I've cleaned it 3 or 4 times, and it works for a few minutes, well, maybe an hour, and then it clogs again. And I think there's just something up in it that I hadn't been getting cleaned out. So let's hope that fixed it. Just running a quick test. That was one of them. That's what it should be doing. That looks good. And the other one is that one over there, and it looks to be doing what it needs to be doing. So I think we're in pretty good shape. We do have a problem with this one here, not working at all. These are kind of a weird sprinkler. They've got a little kind of dial that you rotate to get the angle on it, and so it clogs up. I'll have to dink around with that one, but my phone's getting wet. While the test was a success for the two that I cleaned, I found this one here not performing properly, and one over there by the car is not performing properly. So I'm going to pull both those out and blow them out. I'm headed out to Tractor Supply to get a new pump and also fill up a couple of gas cans. We'll see what we find. Almost home. Had to hit 2 different stores. Bought the pump at Tractor Supply, and then had to buy some additional plumbing parts at True Value hardware store. So let me show you what I got. I got this 2.4 gallons per minute bypass pump. Bypass means that it doesn't have a pressure switch in it. Instead, that when it reaches pressure, it just bypasses itself, and the motor just spins freely, I guess. And then since the old pump used these quick connects and the new pump have threaded connections, I had to buy some adapter pieces. This one replaces that, and then to replace that, I basically needed 2 pieces. So we got that done. And then while we were at it, I bought a new switch for the dash that fits in the round hole, and I think that's about it. I also ordered a new switch for the ignition on this mower. Sitting out in the rain, just not done any favors. And interestingly, the ignition switch doesn't come with a key, so you have to order the key separately that fits it. And I thought maybe my old key would fit. I didn't figure there's that many types of keys, but in looking at the pictures, they don't match. So anyway, a new key and switch should be coming hopefully as soon as Sunday. So we'll see about that. For now, we need to get this motor swapped out. pump was installed, I put the pickup tube back in the bottom that I had taken off to clean. All my fittings should be good. Got it plugged in. We've got the new power switch installed. So when I flip the switch, in theory, that thing ought to build pressure up to 60 psi. So let's see what happens. 55. Who knows how good that gauge is. All right, so that's good. So then if we, whoops, get the sprayer and we spray. Oh yeah, that's what it should be doing. Nice. So in theory, I can spray my cherries in the morning. Now the question is, how long is this pump going to last? Well, we're going to try and take better care of it for one. Yes, that was me. I just shut it off. You know, I've gotten in the habit now of every time I'm done spraying, I'm running soapy water through it. Hopefully that'll help. Probably what I need to do is after I run the soapy water through it, I should probably just run clear water through it, just in case the soap does something to the pump seals. The concern is when winter rolls around again, because I really would like to run some antifreeze through it. Although, I don't know, if there's an easy way to remove the pump, and I guess it's not too bad, I could just pull the pump off and store it indoors and just make sure there was just water through it last time. I don't know. We'll worry about that when fall rolls around. Anyway, we're ready to spray. So a little more information about the pump. I bought it at Tractor Supply. It was $120. When I got to the hardware store, they had pumps as well, and they had, this one is 2.4 gallons per minute, and the hardware store had some that were 2.2 gallons per minute, and they actually had one for $80, and then they had another one for right at $100, and then they had a 4 gallon per minute one for $160. And I really would like to have a 4 or more gallon per minute pump, but at the price they are, I'm not willing to pay that right now. And if this one gets the job done, I guess that's okay. So could I have gotten by with one of the cheaper pumps from the hardware store? Maybe. And the beauty, if I'd done that, they didn't need these fittings. They had the little slide fittings that I really don't like, but at least it would have been easy to do. So live and learn, but let's see how this one works. I mean, if this one works and stays working, then it's worth the pennies I spent on it. And again, 120 bucks isn't so bad for a pump. Well, I say it isn't so bad. If you're a person that doesn't buy these kind of pumps, you probably think that's a whole lot of money. And I agree, I used to think that too. But having been buying these pumps for several years now, it's in the ballpark, let me tell you. All right, the spraying is over for the morning. I would have taken you guys along, but I didn't want to get you up that early. So that and the fact that who wants to bore you with that? And if you want to see me spraying, go back a couple of videos and I've got a section on that. Just want to make some comments. One is, you know what they say about the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. Well, this connection right here came apart on me again. And it's because I didn't tighten it down after the last time it came apart. And I just figured that it'd be all right. But it wasn't. As I was going across the back of the yard, the hose caught on something. That connection came apart. The pump was on. So I pumped a bunch of spray product out on the grass, which can't be good for my grass, but it didn't seem to have too much effect last time. But more importantly, I lost enough spray to where when I got to my last 2 trees, I was running low on spray. And that kind of sucked, because that means they're not sprayed as well as they ought to be. So one thing of interest though, and I didn't really notice it yesterday, is that, well, now that it's not pressurizing all the way, I'm not sure why. Let's see if we can. Oh, I know why. I'm probably sucking some air down in here, maybe. No, I'm not. Well, I was just going to say good things about this pump because it worked just great. And now it doesn't want to pressurize again. I don't know. Let me dink around with it for a minute. Okay, it's back working again. I think what I'm learning is that it doesn't like soapy water running through it. I drained out all the soapy water and I filled my clean out bucket with just some clean water, and it's built pressure back up again. It seems to be doing pretty good. Anyway, what I was going to say before, what I noticed was that while I was spraying, it's actually holding pressure decent, although it's dropping a little bit here. I think with a thicker fluid it holds pressure better too. But it's not dropping all the way down to 10 or below like the other pump did while I'm spraying. So that's a good thing. Anyway, I think we're okay. Hopefully this pump will keep lasting at least for a little while. The more I fooled around with this, I think I learned some more stuff. One, the tube that I use for cleaning out is a larger diameter than this one, so I think that's making the pump work harder. Also, the lift, it has to lift from much higher down in this bucket, especially as the bucket gets empty, than it does into just the bottom of this tank. So combine a smaller diameter with less lift, and the pump is much happier. Because I noticed when the water level got down this low, all of a sudden my pump, I couldn't get it to come over 20%. But if I lifted the bucket up and set it on this tire here, then all of a sudden it came back up to 50. So I think that's something too. I don't know. We're learning as we go along. Anyway, the pump should be cleaned out. We just need to wrap the hose up around the back of it, and then I need to tighten that one fitting there so it doesn't come loose next time I spray. Looky here, a Sunday Amazon delivery. I know this is at least the ignition switch, but is it the key as well? Let's open it up and see. Why, yes it is. One switch and one key. Well, let's go ahead and install it. So I did try the key. Key's in it. Key works. That'd really suck to change it out and find out you had the wrong key. So in looking through the reviews of this switch on Amazon, one of the complaints was removing the old switch. And you've got these little tabs here on the side. There's 4, 2 on each side. And when you push it down in, it clips into this plastic area here. So people were trying to get in from the back side, and you can see there's a gas tank. There's no easy way to get in there to get the old one out. So what I'm wondering is can I push a screwdriver in through there and release those tabs? I don't know, but that's what we're going to try. Look at that. Bent tabs. I'll fix it. Well, so far so good. It appears the ignition switch works. I can't blame it for the low battery. So I'm going to go ahead and get the thing fired up and then get the blades running and make sure that the position that I need is working, which is it's this position here, back 1, like that. That's the switch I need. And then you got stop, which is all the way there. Anyway, before I push that thing all the way down in there and lose it forever, I'm going to make sure everything works. that's a wrap on this week's Procrastination Garage. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what it is that you liked or didn't like about the video. Also, tell me about the projects you're working on, or better yet, the projects you're procrastinating about. Remember, the number one goal of Procrastination Garage is to keep me motivated, to get me out working in the shop, out in the yard, up in the mountains, or in this case, I had to do a road trip to Illinois. So I hope you'll join us again next week. Remember, this is Procrastination Garage, and my name is Matt. We'll see you then.